Hey guys, it's Phil from PR Moves. We're back for another video right here. I just got back from vacation and we're back on the video grind. I hope you guys enjoyed the fact I was able to get a video up, at least one, over the week. I know it's technically been a week now, but we're back on the grind. Division predictions will hopefully finish this week. But the biggest news that I think has happened for Chicago sports in a while went down this past weekend, just 3 days ago. And that's the fact that the Bears have submitted a bid to buy Arlington International Racecourse. Now, Arlington is a north suburb of Chicago. That, if Chicago's bid goes through, would move the Bears likely to a stadium on the giant Arlington International Racecourse property. Overall, I think this is a very progressive move by Chicago, which is why I don't think it's actually going to happen. Mayor Lori Lightfoot, I know probably everyone has mixed opinions about her. I'm personally indifferent because I don't live near Chicago anymore. Said that it's just the Bears buying the racecourse is a negotiating tactic to receive more funds to upgrade Soldier Field's jumbotrons and seating and parking and etc. So the Bears might want to create a better Soldier Field and are using the fact that the Arlington International Racecourse is an available property to push leverage to buy better equipment for Soldier Field. Now, I'm going to put out the proponent of why Chicago should move to Arlington International Racecourse, why it would make the most sense to do so. And that's really going to start with the overall opportunity. I'm going to pull up, you guys will see here, the size of Soldier Field compared to the property that Chicago is submitting to buy. The big loop on the bottom, the big racetrack, you can see Soldier Field fits on that racetrack right there. That's insane. 3 Soldier Fields can go on just that racetrack, and Chicago is submitting to buy this entire property, or the Bears are. And how are the Bears going to fund all of this? Where is this coming from? Well, the Bears' third highest owner after the McCaskies is the owner of the International Racecourse. So people are like, oh, this doesn't make any sense to move outside of Chicago. It perfectly does make sense to move outside of Chicago for these third owners who probably believe that they have a perfect opportunity to create a modern mega complex in this arena. Now I'm going to pull up the picture back again. So imagine we get the stadium on just the south section of this of the race course here, the race park. This entire north section could be used for it should be used for parking, because it's about time after 100 years that Chicago has a stadium with parking. It should be used for parking, and you can also use the rest to create hotels, restaurants, and stores, and basically very much similar to what the LA Rams are doing in Inglewood with SoFi Stadium, and create this whole complex so that what's the best way to phrase this? You basically create your own small little city atmosphere inside of Arlington, and people can make a day's work out of going to a Bears game. You get up early and you hit the breakfast joint outside of Arlington Raceway. You go shopping for a bit. You head to the Bears game at 3:45 or 2:45. I don't know. I don't remember the central times. And then you go get dinner at the restaurants that are around the Arlington area, and then you can head back home on the tram or whatever. And I think that is a really interesting way to build up an area. Now, they would have to get funding from Arlington to do this, but you even see the Cubs have done this. The Cubs have bought so much property around Wrigley. They own most of the restaurants and the stores around Wrigley. So that's what I think the Bears would likely do if they move to Arlington. I think it'd be the absolute smart thing to do, is to build up that area around the raceway. Now, looking at SoFi Stadium, I want to show SoFi Stadium as an example, and I'll pull up that picture quickly. All of this area, so the Ram-looking thing is around the same size as half of the raceway. So that, all of this area around SoFi is bought up by the Los Angeles Rams, and they're going to use it to develop a park around SoFi, make it this large industrial area, and I believe that's exactly what the Bears should do. Now, why shouldn't the Bears move to Arlington? All of those things sound great, and the fact that you would be able to host Super Bowls, national championships, bowl games, NCAA finals and tournaments in this massive park complex, concerts, everything, soccer, major World Cup, Olympics, all in Chicago or in the Chicagoland area. Why shouldn't the Bears do this? Now, the first major proponent is nostalgia. And get it, I've been there. I've been to Soldier Field 3 times. I love Soldier Field as much as it's a crappy stadium. I do love Soldier Field. And I understand why people wouldn't want to move on from it. But overall, it really doesn't make sense to stay in Soldier Field 10 more years. Now, granted, our lease goes till 2027. That's probably around when the massive Arlington complex would be finished that I was just talking about. That's probably the timetable. That's probably when it'd be finished. So, Chicago would be playing at Soldier Field for 5 or 6 more years, most likely. But we're the largest downtown market in the NFL, and we're the 3rd largest overall market in the NFL, and we have the smallest stadium with no parking and horrible transportation to get to it. That's obscene. If you would think for a downtown stadium you'd be able to get some sort of at least good transportation to get to the stadium, that just doesn't exist. So I do think, even though Soldier Field's extremely nostalgic, I do think Chicago needs some sort of new stadium moving forward, and I think Arlington's the right way. Now, a lot of people have been saying, oh, it wouldn't be the Chicago Bears if they moved out of downtown Chicago. Yes, it would. Why wouldn't they be the Chicago Bears? That makes no sense. Jets, Giants, Washington football team, San Francisco, Dallas, Los Angeles teams all don't play in their downtown area, and they're some of the largest markets in the country. That makes no sense to compare, to say, oh, they're no longer the Chicago Bears, you're the Arlington Heights Bears. That makes no sense, because all the other teams are still represented by their original city, even though they play 30-45 minutes outside. And 30-45 minutes is exactly how far Arlington International Racecourse is from Soldier Field. And 90% of, or I'm not going to say 90%, but probably over half of the people who go to Bears games are not from downtown Chicago. They're from the suburbs. This might actually be easier for people from Schaumburg or Barrington or Naperville to get up into Arlington Heights than to drive all the way into downtown Chicago. And it is an hour drive from downtown Chicago, but most of that comes from the fact that 290 is traffic hell. So, overall, I think Arlington International Racecourse, the Bears moving there, is it's a good idea. People who are so defensive of it, you're going to have time to grow onto it, because it'll probably be 7 years before, if they buy it, that we even move there. And who knows, maybe this bid turns out to just be a diversion like Mayor Lightfoot says, and the Bears use it to renovate Soldier Field again, which I personally don't want unless they're going to include parking. But overall, I think it'd be an overall modern move for the Chicago Bears to make. Move out to Arlington Raceway and stop focusing so much on your past teams and focus on building a great future team. And I think a lot of people would agree with me on that. So thank you guys so much for watching. I do really appreciate all of you sticking around over my vacation. Thank you so much for the support on the Tree Cohen video. And I'll see you guys all as soon as possible. Division predictions coming back this week. Probably not tomorrow. I have a hospital visit I have to go to. Physical therapy for my arm. So, I'll get right back on the video grind. Tuesday we'll probably have NFC South predictions. And then Wednesday will probably be the final Did I do all 4 AFC? AFC North will be Wednesday, and then Thursday will be NFC South, and those are the final 3. I'll try to do some sort of video Friday. But I'll see you guys all then. Talk to you later. Peace.